may well be seeing a lot of whiskey this festive season, whether it's underneath the Christmas tree or in our glasses. France is the world's largest consumer of Scotch whisky and is now producing more and more of its own. We're in Louvois, near Thérèse, in France's Champagne region. Thierry Guillon set up his distillery on the family estate 17 years ago. He's now producing 60,000 bottles per year.
We're making a malt-based product which captures the spirit of the Reims mountain region. We don't want to copy the Scottish or Irish flavour. Our blend is more subtle, with pretty specific characteristics.
And even though it has all the same features, it's not classified as a whiskey and doesn't carry the name because Thierry adds a step to the production process called chaptalisation, which means he adds sugar during fermentation. And with this eau de vie, the winemaker by trade is hoping to promote a local raw material.
Our region is the world leader in malt production. This is malt, germinated barley.
They begin the process by mixing the malt over several days with spring water from the estate.
At this stage, it tastes pretty much like beer.
And Thierry will distill it in these stills for 6 hours.
The alcohol volume is 7% before distillation and around 30% afterwards.
It's then distilled a second time in this smaller still.
Double distillation refines the product.
And he's left with a single malt, which is then aged for 6 to 10 years in oak casks, kept in these black-painted shipping crates.
There's a huge benefit to using the crates as there are great fluctuations in temperature and humidity. The product will resist temperatures of -15, -20 degrees, and in summer it will be at 40, 50 degrees, which means evaporations occur more quickly, and so it develops much faster than it would in a cellar. So a product that has aged 6 years with us is actually already a well-aged liquid.
And this particular eau de vie has already been served at the presidential palace. 630,000 bottles of French whiskey are consumed every year, a drop in the ocean compared to the 220 million bottles consumed every year in the country. But France is intent on affirming its uniqueness. Banned in Paris since 1914, the first legal distillery has now opened its doors.
There used to be distilleries in central Paris, but they were very much straight out of the Émile Zola novel L'Assommoir, or hidden away at the back of shops. But for safety reasons and tax reasons, they were banned at the beginning of the 20th century. We managed to get a permit, however, and so we will have a mini distillery here in Paris.
And it's set to be in use by the end of December.
We will be producing grain alcohol, which, once aged, will become whiskey, and also fruit-based alcohol, made from grape, apple, pear. We'll also be making gin.
Nicolas is hoping to age his alcohol in cellars in Paris and also in barges on the River Seine. The distillery will also give him the chance to learn and share more about spirits and to advise customers on choosing a whiskey to match what they'll be eating. Smoked salmon, for example.
We taste a bit of salmon and then take a tiny drop of whiskey and slowly swill it around our mouth, so there's no burning. The aromas intensify and a real synergy develops between the salmon and the whiskey.
And in the same fashion, a peat whiskey will enhance Roquefort cheese.
There are so many different styles of whiskey with very specific characteristics, so we can find the perfect match.
As an accompaniment and also as an ingredient, whiskey seasons beautifully. The chef at this new Parisian bistro regularly uses single malt in his dishes, with grilled shrimp, for example.
They're flambéed with French whiskey from Brittany.
And served with an eggplant caviar made with ground almonds.
I made a little sauce from the shells, which has also been flambéed in whiskey.
Que j'ai flambé aussi au whisky.
The bar is stocked solely with products from France or French-speaking countries, handpicked by mixologist and spirits expert Stéphane Martin. He's selected whiskies from Brittany, Alsace, and also the Jura region.
There are now 25 listed producers, each making between 3 and 10 different products. And the specific characteristic of French whiskey is the softness. I find it a lot more balanced than other whiskies. It won't always go down well with fans of Scotch whisky, because there is a lot less peat. This one has a peaty flavour. They're almost quite syrupy. It's quite astonishing.
And in addition to the whisky, Stéphane is in the process of setting up a basement area devoted to serving and mixing the French way.
I spent 3 years reading up on French bars and what they've served over the years. It's the first bar with a cocktail culture, that's spelled C-O-Q-U-E-T-E-L-S. And it's not a play on words or a reference to the word cocktail. I discovered it during my research. The word actually exists. It originates from Quebec from the 18th century and was used to describe a mixed drink, a cocktail. The emphasis is on the blend, not on one particular liquor.
The French savoir-faire and dozens of old recipes bringing past pleasures back to life. To be consumed, of course, in moderation.